Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Before we jump right into today's explainer, do me a quick favor. Hit that like button and make sure you're subscribed so you never miss out on these deep dives. Today, we're talking about a massive explosion happening right now online. The peptide craze is literally getting completely out of control. It's kind of like a giant iceberg, right? Up at the very top, you've got incredible, legitimate medical breakthroughs. But right below the surface, well, there's a murky, completely unregulated gray market that could seriously harm you. Now, really quick, I need to set a firm boundary here. This explainer is strictly informational. It is based entirely on peer-reviewed scientific articles, clinical reviews, and official regulatory warnings. You should never, and I mean never, utilize any of these therapies without strict consultation and supervision from a licensed medical doctor. Seriously, there are zero safe internet shortcuts when it comes to your biology. All right, let's dive right into our roadmap for today. We're going to breeze through the mainstream boom, what peptides actually are, the gray market danger, global crackdowns, severe health risks, and finally, our verdict. Part 1. The mainstream boom. So, you've probably heard of revolutionary FDA-approved weight loss and diabetes drugs like semaglutide and tirzepatide. They're all over the news, celebrities are talking about them. They're basically the primary reason the word peptide has suddenly become a household term. And looking at this PRISMA flowchart from a recent systematic review, it perfectly illustrates why these approved drugs are so trusted by the medical community. I mean, researchers don't just guess, right? They start with hundreds of studies, meticulously filtering them down to the absolute most rigorous data. These approved therapies go through intense scientific scrutiny to prove they can safely reduce appetite and improve metabolic parameters by acting on hormone receptors. It's a long, strict, and highly regulated process. Section 2. What are peptides exactly? Before we look at the whole controversial biohacking trend that spun off from these legitimate drugs, let's just step back and establish a biological baseline. What actually are they? Well, the crucial point here is that peptides are simply chains of amino acids. Think of them as the building blocks of proteins. Your body uses them constantly to perform essential functions. They act as signaling molecules, practically telling your body to, heal a wound, grow muscle, or release specific hormones. They are entirely natural biological components. But isolating, synthesizing, and injecting experimental versions of them for off-label purposes, that is exactly where the profound danger begins. Section 3. The gray market danger. And this brings us below the surface of that iceberg. This is where the legitimate science stops and the completely unregulated Wild West social media craze takes over. Right now, online influencers and self-proclaimed biohackers are aggressively pushing unapproved compounds for anti-aging, extreme fat loss, and athletic recovery. So how are they getting away with selling them? Through a massive legal loophole. They push consumers toward these gray market websites that sell experimental chemicals clearly labeled for research purposes only or not for human consumption, yet they're actively encouraging everyday people to inject them at home. It's crazy. There is a night and day difference here. FDA-approved therapies are backed by massive, randomized clinical trials, proven safety profiles, and rigorous manufacturing oversight. Gray market blends, on the other hand, like the highly hyped CJC1295 and apamorelin, have purely experimental status. Online vendors push this stuff as a miracle growth hormone booster. But the reality? There are absolutely zero published human randomized controlled trials for their combined use. None whatsoever. You are literally flying blind regarding long-term safety. So, with all these unproven, unregulated chemicals floating around wellness clinics, podcasts, and online forums, you really have to wonder, what are the authorities actually doing about this out-of-control trend? Section 4. FDA and global crackdowns. Well, government health agencies are absolutely not ignoring this. In fact, they're aggressively stepping in to stop the dangerous compounding and distribution of these chemicals. Just recently, the FDA made a massive move. They banned compounding pharmacies from selling 17 popular peptides. 17! This regulatory crackdown was triggered by severe concerns over dangerous impurities, wild variability in doses between batches, and just a total lack of clinical safety data for these specific compounds. The specifics of that ban are incredibly important to understand. The FDA created a 503A Category 2 list of bulk substances. And those highly promoted compounds we talked about earlier, CJC1295 and apamorelin, they are squarely on that list. This means licensed compounding pharmacies cannot legally prepare them pending further FDA review. The specific combinations being touted online by biohackers are explicitly restricted. Basically, there is no legal, safe avenue to get them compounded right now. Section 5. Severe health risks. So what actually happens if you decide to ignore these regulatory bans, bypass the pharmacies altogether, and buy directly from the gray market online? The physical consequences can be horrifying. Health Canada recently issued a severe warning detailing what is actually found inside these unauthorized vials you buy online. Because they're manufactured in murky, unregulated conditions, often overseas, they can contain toxic solvents, heavy metals like mercury, even actual physical particles of glass and plastic fibers, plus microbiomes like bacteria and fungi. You literally have no idea what you're injecting straight into your bloodstream. And beyond those terrifying contaminants, the side effects of the experimental compounds themselves are incredibly dangerous. Both Harvard Health and Health Canada report that unsupervised use can lead to abnormal immune responses, severe allergic reactions like anaphylaxis, massive hormonal and blood sugar imbalances, liver or kidney damage, blood clots, and even the growth of cancerous tumors. As researchers at Harvard point out, you are essentially experimenting on yourself by injecting random amino acids and taking a blind gamble with your life.
Section 6. The final verdict.
Okay, let's bring all this data together into some clear takeaways. First, recognize the proven science. FDA-approved therapies hold real, incredible medical promise when they're actually backed by systematic reviews and clinical trials. Second, completely avoid gray market vendors and those shady research-only loopholes. And third, always consult a licensed healthcare professional for medical decisions. True health optimization requires established data and real doctors. So I want to leave you with this final thought. Are the perceived shortcuts of unregulated biohacking really worth gambling with your long-term health? Think critically about the online wellness industry the next time you see a flashy social media post pushing an experimental vial. Now, if you are serious about optimizing your health the right way, the scientifically proven way, without relying on sketchy gray market chemicals, you absolutely need to grab my new comprehensive ebook. It breaks down everything you need to know about safe, evidence-based metabolic health and anti-aging strategies. It is packed with actionable, doctor-approved protocols, and right now, it is available for just $19.90. Seriously, guys, $19.90 is absolutely nothing compared to the cost of ruining your health with bad online advice. Do not wait on this. Click the link in the description right now, get your copy for just $19.90, and start making safe, educated choices for your body. Buy it today. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next explainer.